Hey guys, not too bad today. 2-5. Could have done better. A couple of suckouts got me from my 400 over down to just a little bit over, but hey, building the bankroll a little bit at a time. I got out and it was storming like crazy in Detroit. But here, it doesn't look so bad. A little bit of sunshine in there. So 2-5 today was pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to be there tomorrow, but we'll see. Stay lucky. We're at a 1-2 table. It's 10-handed. Our hero has a jack of diamonds and an 8 of hearts. He opens for $6 in the low jack, and only the high jack calls. Most likely he's got a couple of big cards. He could have a pair. He could have a weak ace, and he's hoping to hit a flush or 2 pair. He could also have suited connectors. The flop comes ace of spades, 7 of clubs, and 8 of diamonds, giving hero a pair of 8s. On this board, it's probably best for hero to go ahead and bet, because that ace is a great bluffing card for his continuation bet. Opponent is probably going to put him on either a pair, or if he bets, he'll most likely put him on a big ace, which is what most weak players are going to put everyone on anyway, is some kind of ace when they raise pre-flop. So our hero bets $8 into the $15 pot, and our opponent calls. At this point, we can narrow our range of our opponent down a little bit more. He could have had weak ace. He could still have any pair, 9s, 6s, 5s, 4s, 3s, 2s. He could have 2 large cards, and he's just kind of peeling it off because your bet looked kind of weak. But he could also have an 8 or a 7. It's unlikely he's got 2 pairs. He most likely would have raised to get more money in the pot. He probably doesn't have a set either, although those are possibilities. The turn is a 9 of spades. If he had an open-ended straight draw, if he happened to have 5, 6, then he got there. But that's only one hand out of many possibles. If he's got jack 10, he also got there, but that's probably not the case, although those 2 hands are in his range. Hero bets out $11 into the $31 pot, and our opponent folds. Most likely, he's got either just 2 big cards and doesn't want to pay any more money, or he could have 5s, 4s, 3s, or 2s. Another thing I'd like to consider here a moment is what opponent could have done instead. Many times, weak players will continuation bet very close to the pre-flop bet, which in itself isn't that significant of a tell. However, on the turn, an additional same bet or very close to the same bet, most often meaning they have a weak hand. And that's definitely the case in this instance, where they only had middle pair. When hero bet out that $11, opponent could have come over the top with a $33 or $35 bet, and hero would have folded. Even though hero only has an 8, but opponent could have an ace, or he could have 2 pair, he could have a set, and he could also have a straight now with a 3-card straight board. And he could also be betting a flush at that point, but with hero only having an 8, and opponent calling and showing so much strength on the turn, normally in a 1-2 game, weaker players aren't going to put that much money in without actually having something. And even if he did have a flush and a straight draw, let's say he had king 10 of spades, even if a king, a 10, a 6, a spade, any of those cards come, except for a 10, you'd be good with a 10, but any of the other cards would be very bad for you. So even if you are ahead, you can easily become behind, but only having an 8 against this much aggression from a typically weak player is usually not a good sign, and you can always wait to pick a better spot. What hero should have done is not bet so weakly, and he wouldn't have set himself up for that kind of play to be made against him. Also keep in mind that your opponent, their style, their image, your style, all come in to play when you're reading hands and making plays. If you are known as a tight player, then they're going to give you a stronger range. We're not sure, but maybe Hero knew that opponent was playing a basically fit or fold strategy and knew that even if he bet small, if opponent really didn't have anything, he would fold, and so he risked less to get the job done. Always take your opponent's strategy and tell into account as well as your own anytime you're in a hand.